Third thing I wanted to try to fix today before I fired the machine back up was I want to take off this safety valve here that's spring loaded. I'm going to try one last thing before I actually replace the spring. I may have to order a piece from Stefano's, or I might have to, hopefully I can just expand the spring and then clear off the chamfer there a little bit, chamfer the hole a little bit. So this was again, it's a 16 millimeter deep well socket. So that's the tool that I used. I did not use this piece here because it was loose. I would have used it if the nut, this acorn nut hadn't been loose. Two things come out. We get the spring here, which I'm trying to expand a little bit, and then the ball bearing, and then these two pieces obviously come off still too, as I've done before. So what I want to try to do is I clean this up a little bit. I want to see if I can seat this ball bearing into that hole a little better. And to do that, I'm going to use the same tool that I used on the steam one assembly, and I'm just going to very gently turn this a few turns until I get it cleaned, get a nice clean edge on where the ball bearing can seat a little bit better. Being a carbide bit here, against brass, you really don't want to put any pressure on it. I'm just really using the hand pressure of my tool here. I try to keep it straight on and turn it a few times. And there's a little bit of metal fell off. Not much. You don't really want to take much. Just want to kind of clean that opening up a little bit on the edges. There we go. So I'm going to try that, and at the same time I'm going to elongate the spring just a hair again. And to do that, I'm just going to actually use pressure by hand. Actually, pressure by hand I don't think is going to, I've been trying to do that. Don't think it does any good. So let's grab a hold of the spring. Couple tools here to hold on to the spring. See if I can get it to elongate just a little bit, get a little bit more pressure on it. And it looks like I did. I'm going to straighten this part of the spring out here so that it fits flat. If you can see a little bit when I tightened, when I stretched it, that part got a little loose and we got a little bent, and I want to make sure I get a 9/8 back on it. And so the spring should be elongated a little bit. So we're going to try this one a little bit and see if that helps out. So to replace everything again, the ball bearing goes back on. This capture cup slips back in place. Everything will hold itself there. The acorn spring goes back in the acorn nut. Turn it quickly so we don't lose the ball bearing off of the opening, off the hole. And it should hand. The ball bearing did come loose, so that's let's see if we can get it back in place without taking everything. Nope. Okay, ball bearing goes back on. You need probably, the other thing you could do is angle the machine to try to make this work. I'll do that if I need to. So had luck with this before with releasing the ball bearing. There we go. Starting to hand tighten. And if I want a little aid to hand tighten it, put this deep well socket back on. Make sure that this tube goes out as far as I can. Still I'm going to snug it a little bit. So I'll put my thin wall 14 millimeter wrench here, open-ended, just to hold it tight so the bottom piece doesn't turn, just to snug it. And there's number 3. So we'll see if those made any difference today.